Diwali rocket that was fired by Justin Trudeau on the credible allegations again, just when we thought that things were, settling down on the India-Canada front. Are we ever going to see those, the proof of those allegations, this credible allegations? Or is this diplomatic spat going to continue?
This spat will continue. There is no credible evidence. I mean, I've spoken to many officials. It is most likely a gangland war. And the trouble is not the incident. The real trouble is the fact that the Prime Minister, that the head of government of a G7 country is so accommodating of both terrorist ideology, extremist ideology, and people who have been labeled as terrorists in another democracy and another Commonwealth nation. So this is not a light, it's not anything light. It is also, Trudeau referred to the fact that 40 diplomats have been kicked out of India.
Yeah.
But he didn't address the fact that the Indian High Commissioner and Indian Consul General in Canada have been the target of extremist posters across Canada for months. They have had to be confined to their homes. They haven't been able to do their diplomatic duties outside. They've had to invest in more secure cars, in greater security. This is not the way diplomatic relations should continue. So yes, I do believe that this is going to continue for a while longer.
Indrani, thank you very much. It's always good hearing from you and your insights. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sandeep.
So Aditya, Indrani, they're clearly indicating that there's not going to be any end in sight and this tu-tu mai-mai is going to continue. Is Justin Trudeau playing to the galleries again?
Absolutely, no doubts in my mind that Justin Trudeau is playing to the galleries, and this is abundantly clear not just to Indians. It is clear to his G7 partners and the Five Eyes intelligence as well. The kind of domestic pressures that Justin Trudeau has and the calculated call that Justin Trudeau has taken not just now but for years together, backing the Khalistani extremism on ground, and repeated offences that have happened of the Khalistanis preaching terrorism in India, coordinating terror attacks and giving shelter to a lot of Khalistani designated terrorists clearly signifies that Canada is in no mood to take action. In this case as well, from day one, it's been more than 2 months now, almost 3 months, that the Canadian Prime Minister made the allegation against India. Now imagine, this is credible allegation and not a credible evidence. Till date, not a shred of evidence has been shared with Indians about any kind of these allegations that might have some proof or evidence, because there isn't any evidence. These are just claims that are being made, because if there was an evidence, either it would have been made public by the Canadian Prime Minister or their Home Secretary themselves, or else, Sandeep, what would have happened is that there would have been a media leak in the CBC or in the Canadian press about the kind of evidence they have. They've just been repeating that we have evidence and we will share it at the right time. That doesn't solve the issue in diplomacy. And the Canadian Prime Minister, in his latest statements now, charges on the Indian government and says that India has violated the Vienna Convention by revoking the diplomatic immunity of several of the Canadian diplomats. How is that so? What India has only done is brought in a parity. The number of Canadian diplomats in India was much more than the Indian diplomats in Canada. There needs to be a parity in the relationship, in the bilateral call. So Canada had to remove at least 41 of its diplomats and 42 family members of those diplomats, and they have moved out. Canada is certainly feeling the heat, and I believe, of course, Indrani was right, that this escalation unfortunately has been from Canada and will continue.
So that was the United States there deploying its carriers like chess pieces on the geopolitical chessboard. Aditya, you think Iran is going to face the consequences of activating all these multiple fronts, or is it going to be business as usual for them?
Well, for a very long time, it's been a business as usual. They've felt consequences. We've seen the Qasem Soleimani killing. And after that, Trump came in with a statement recently on November 2nd, where Trump said that, when I killed Qasem Soleimani, there was a response from Iran on our, dark channels. And dark channels mean the communication between the intelligence. And the Iranians said that this is a matter of self-respect. We'll have to respond. And we will respond by attacking 20 of your bases, but our missiles, our rockets will only fall short of the main gate of
Right.
your base, clearly indicating that there was an understanding
Right.
between US and Iran. So this time around, there's been considerable provocation by Iran. US is countering that by
Yeah.
deployments in the region. Will this escalate is only to be seen in the next few days or weeks, but at this moment, Iran continues to provoke. And US is monitoring the situation closely. It does not want to enter full-fledgedly this war because it is already exhausted with the Russia-Ukraine war and of course supplying a lot of weapons and ammunition to the Israelis as well.
Right.
But it seems to be a very catch-22 situation right now.
News9 Plus. Download now.